So you're a communist and you're talking about intellectual honesty? Because if you want to be a raging liberal or a raging leftist in the United States, or even a communist like yourself, you can go to Portland, you can go to Oregon.
I think the Democrats are also wacky, but probably for different reasons than you do.
Of course,
There's
you're a
a lot of
communist, so yes.
there's a lot of things that I wish the Democrats would just stop being so spineless about. Like they want to uphold the fiction of the American dream.
Are you saying the American dream is dead in the United States?
It never existed, at least
Really?
not for everyone.
Millions of immigrants would disagree with you.
They might disagree with me the same as somebody who left America and went to another country to pursue something that more aligned with their values.
Yep. Good. That's the thing. I call those people idiots because if you want to be a raging liberal or a raging leftist in the United States, or even a communist like yourself, you can go to Portland, you can go to Oregon. If you want to be a diehard conservative, you can go to Texas, you can go to
Yeah.
Arizona, you can go to parts of Colorado. So this country really offers everybody the possibility to live their best life. While you guys are bitching and complaining about America, and it takes immigrants like myself to come here with nothing and build a life for ourselves and call you out on your stupidity.
Here in Missouri, in my home state, it's a pretty far right state. We're pretty Republican controlled here.
Okay?
Um,
I,
I I think I have a pretty mature way of looking at the world because I started out as a conservative, and so my viewpoint on politics has slowly shifted from the right all the way to the center and then to the left. And I try and be intellectually honest and be critical of the things that I believe in because I think that's really the hallmark of intellectual honesty. If somebody says I believe in this, and you say
hold on a
okay,
second. So you are you a communist?
yes, but I'm not a Marxist.
Okay. You're
Yes.
advocating for a system that unalived millions and millions of people throughout the history of time, and you have the audacity to talk about intellectual honesty?
Of course, because
Of
it's a blown up unhistorical position to take. The communism has killed any more people than capitalism has or feudalism has. That's
capitalism
just a red
hasn't
scare.
killed people. In capitalism,
Talk to
you are
the people in
responsible for your own
Somalia.
actions. And in capitalism, you live the life that you are creating. That's what capitalism is. This is why you have millions of immigrants that come to the United States with nothing in their pockets, and they create a better life than native born Americans. Why? Because we sacrifice, and we're making the sacrifices that you Americans are unwilling to do. It's different than the government starving you to death, as is happening in Cuba and has happened in Russia and the entire Eastern Bloc in Europe, and let's not talk and also in Latin America.
Now you bring up the starvation of Cuba. I find that quite ironic because do you know why Cuba cannot feed its people? Because the United States and its allies have embargoed the country for the better part of 100 years.
That is not true.
The United States has said for quite a long time if you trade with Cuba, you will suffer the
That is an
consequences. That's why
absolute
nobody
lie
does
that
it.
pathetic communists like yourself are saying all the time. There's no embargo on food with Cuba. Their chicken is coming from the United States. Their eggs are coming from the United States. Rice, wheat, soybean, corn. They are getting all of this from the United States. How can you lie? This is the tip, and you just said that you have an ethical. What the heck did you say? That you
Do you think the Cuban people just drive cars from the 1950s because they want to?
that is different than starving the people. Don't move the goalpost. I just called you out on your lie, and now you're bringing up you're bringing up their cars. There's no embargo on medicine. There's no embargo on medical devices. There's no embargo on food like chicken, rice, wheat, soybeans, corn, etc. So for you to be out here and to state that they are starving because of the United States and our allies is a blatant lie. They are starving because they are run by a communist authoritarian military regime that is starving their people.
You've presented as much evidence for that position as I have for my side. So, what is the evidence
You
that you
haven't
have that the
provided any
government of
side. You're
Cuba?
just moving the goalpost. We were
What?
talking about why they are starving. I brought up key points,
Okay,
and you
so
moved
why are
on to
they
their
starving then?
vehicles.
Tell me why you think they're starving then, aside from just using buzzwords.
I just
What is the
did.
mechanism of government?
I
Like,
just I I
are
just
do you
did.
think the people of Cuba are worshiping a leader that says starve in the streets
They,
while
they
I
they are
don't?
not worshiping their leader. Majority of them don't have a choice because their leadership, their government is oppressive. They don't have agricultural production, which is why the United States is supplemented that. Also, let's not forget their government is controlling the price and have centralized planning. And let me put that out there for everybody that doesn't know what that means. That is fixed prices. The state is purchasing the products of agriculture, and then they are placing restrictions on private enterprise in order to reduce incentives to produce and distribute food efficiently, leading to food shortages. Go ahead, tell me that this is not true. Go ahead.
If this if this
We have 89 people in here. Every single one of them can go and look this up on Google.
I'm if what you're saying is true when it comes to the embargo not affecting food and medicine, that would be something new to me, and I'll definitely look into that. I'm not going to sit here and try and be one sided and say that Cuba
But
has
you are
everything down
one-sided. You
pat.
are supporting a system that unalived tens of millions of people, and you're here and you're telling me that you're supporting communism, but you don't know that we don't have an embargo on food and medicine to Cuba.
I'll verify that for myself, but you're also making a misstatement that millions of people have been killed by communism. No more have been killed by communism than by capitalism.
Again, capitalism is not killing people, and you're deflecting.
No, I'm just correcting what you're saying because it's a common misstatement by the capitalist that's used to vilify another system rather than talk about it on even keeled terms
Well,
that are based upon logic and reason.
we have a large Cuban community in the United States that kind of agree with me about what is going on in Cuba. We also have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of immigrants from the Eastern Bloc in Europe. They can tell you exactly what life under communism was in Eastern Europe. I was just 1 year old when communism ended, and we also have millions of people from Latin America that can tell you
Yeah,
how
like
good
universal
socialism
health
and
care, it's
communism is,
horrible.
while you are here as a born American, one of the most privileged people on the whole planet, supporting communism.
The idea that being born American provides privilege is another assumption that you're making. We are not a meritocracy here in America.
We
Hard work does
absolutely
not
are.
determine success.
We absolutely are. The only thing I will concede on this is that we are not all starting at in the same place, but we absolutely are a meritocracy. And life is not fair. No matter what you do, life will never be fair. So you can work harder than me, and I can do better than you. That is just life. What I'm saying is that this country gives you the possibilities and the opportunities to do something with your life that you people are ignoring. Why is it that me, the immigrant, have a better life than you Americans while I came here when I was 23 with $500 in my pocket? Why? Because I sacrificed more than you people are willing to do. And I still do to this day. I work about 12 hours a day for the life that I have, and you will never ever hear me complain. If I want to go and buy a boat tomorrow, I can go and fucking buy a boat tomorrow without thinking twice about it. Why? Because I grinded to live the life that I want.
I just don't believe that. I've never met any self-made people that got it on their own. It's always through the exploitation of others, through wage theft and other
Really? Who did
similar
I exploit?
circumstances. Are you somebody who indulges in the stock market and trading?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
all.
I am paying tens of
That's all
thousands of dollars
speculation
every single
on the
year
work,
because of the stock market.
and that's all speculation based upon the labor of the working class people. It's
Yeah.
not any money that you earned.
Yeah.
You didn't earn that money.
I did earn that money.
You did not.
But of
You
course,
made a bet.
I decided which stock to buy. I decided how much of my own money to put into that stock. I decided when to sell. I decided when to buy. I decided when to hold. I decided with my if my dividends are going to be sent by check to my address or they are going to be reinvested in the stock market. All those
It's no
decisions
different
have
than
been decisions
people.
that directly affected my stock market portfolio.
It's no different, in my opinion, than people shooting dice on the corner. You're no more honest for those gains than the people who are playing craps.
Correct. I just have a higher probability of making more money.
And that money comes on the back, the sweat of the brow, and the blood of the working
No,
class,
it
the
really
people who
doesn't,
produce
because
the labor.
regardless if we would have a stock market or not, those people will still be employed at the companies that are being traded at the stock market.
But those companies would be controlled by the worker, and the worker would get a more fair share of the labor that they
Would
produce.
they? So what's stopping them from creating companies that are co-ops?
We do that here. It's just highly frowned upon because we have this villainization of
Yeah.
any kind of
Is it
socialistic
illegal?
principle.
No. Is it possible? Yes. Why? Because it doesn't work. Because it goes against human nature. We are not created to all want the same thing,
I
to
can
have
introduce
different
you to
hobbies.
several business owners that run multi-million-dollar co-ops. I don't necessarily agree with being a
Okay.
millionaire. I think
Of
it's kind
course
of
you don't
morally
agree with being a
unsound, but
millionaire. How much money do you have in your bank account right now?
about $6,000.
So your net worth is $6,000. Of course, the people that have made bad financial decisions their entire lives have an issue and want to tell other people what to do with their money.
I think I'm doing pretty decent. I can feed myself. I can provide a roof for myself. You're
How old
trying
are
to
you?
paint me as somebody who's jealous.
I promise you, I am not jealous. How old are you?
No, you're trying to paint me as being jealous.
You are.
I have,
All you
I have
communists
a,
are.
I have a
Yes.
roof over my head. I have food in my belly.
Good for
I
you.
have nothing of yours that I want. There's nothing. I don't want to come and raid your house and take your things as a communist.
So let me ask you
All I
this.
want
What
you to
is your age?
do. I am 38 years
You're
old.
38. So we are the same age. Do you think at 38 you should have more than $6,000 in your net worth?
This is the most I've made my entire life, and I've worked very, very hard. I've worked multiple jobs. I just so happen to be in a smaller town and not have the ability to make my way out.
Why? I came here. So let me put it this
Manufactured
way, and this is where
financial instability is why.
this is where I'm coming from. I came to the United States in 2011 with $500 in my pocket in a town of 10,000 people. And I live in a city with millions of people right now. And I got out. Why was I able to do that and you weren't? When you were born here with all the
From
opportunities and privileges that this country has to offer.
from what you've told me so far, the reason that you have been able to do that is because you have utterly neglected any family, friends, or personal life that you have, and you have devoted yourself 100% to the accumulation of wealth.
How have I neglected my family?
You said you're working 12-hour days, sir. What is your family doing
Sometimes.
for those 12 hours?
Just fine. Everybody's doing amazing.
Without you there?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that you have a cohesive family whenever you spend half of your day at a minimum away from them.
Everybody is doing amazing and everybody is living their best life.
Okay,
Yes.
I guess I have to take you at your word for it, but I think you could probably be doing better if you had more time.
Yeah, of course. But then I wouldn't have the life that I wanted. If I would have wanted to be just another number in society and live a basic life, I would have made probably the decisions that you did. The same
What
decisions that
time
the
do you
average
have to
American is
enjoy it?
making. However, I wanted a better life. I wanted to live a good life in the United States. Which is why
Good for
the
you
average
is having
the
flashy
average
property, it seems.
whenever you Americans are bitching and complaining about how hard this country is, I can't help but laugh. The average car payment in America is over $700. Over $700. My average car payment since I came to this country has not been more than $200. You guys like to look rich while you are not rich.
I agree.
Yeah. How much is your rent?
My rent is $800.
Oh, okay. Good for you. Good there.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
I do appreciate you holding this conversation with me. I know we see things pretty differently, and I'm glad we're having a good discussion so far.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining. I wish you the best. And stop being a communist. You're being pathetic.
Okay, I will stop because you told me to. But no, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for hosting me.
Yeah, you too. Bye.